Joining me for a lead exclusive to respond to these allegations, CNN political commentator Amanda Carpenter. Amanda, thanks for joining me here. I am sorry it's under these circumstances, but let's address them. Have you had ever any sort of intimate relationship with Senator Cruz? Anything at all? Anything that could be considered inappropriate?
No, I had a purely professional relationship with Senator Cruz, and I want to go further than that. I have been 100% faithful to my husband. There's nothing more important to me than being a good wife and a good mother, and it's been very hard the past few days to have my character called into question and watch this blow back on them. So thank you for having me here to talk about it, and I hope no one else has to go through this.
This video that they put out, that the Trump campaign itself was pushing, it appears to show him not wearing a sports jacket, and then like you're wearing a sports jacket or something. I don't really understand it. Did you understand it? Can you explain what they're trying to say?
It's conspiracy theories that are being pushed online. I can't fathom why the Trump campaign would be doing this. No other campaign would touch this sort of stuff. It's really conspiracy theory. They're looking at every picture I've ever put out in my Instagram, rummaging through my personal life to find any kind of connection to me in this immoral behavior. And so I don't want to run away from this. I want to address it, but at the same time, the hardest thing about doing this is defending myself, but not making it worse.
Right.
And so that's the weird conundrum that I found myself in, and so many other women who have to confront these sort of sexist smears. I mean, you have to remember, I was one of 5 women that was just chosen at random, it seems, by the National Enquirer. They put a barely pixelated image of me in their paper that everyone could quickly identify, largely because I am fortunate to have a good media platform. But at the same time, I'm stuck in this box where I am forced to try to defend every smear that comes after me, my husband, my children online, or suffer in silence. And so I just want to encourage everyone to look at the broader context of this campaign. There is a toxic culture being produced this season, and I think we all need to recognize what's happening, look at the facts, and go into this with our eyes wide open and be unafraid to confront it.
Now, you've been very critical of Donald Trump. You're a Cruz supporter. You've made no bones about that, well, generally speaking.
Yeah, generally speaking. I mean, going into this, I wanted to support conservatives in the race. I mean, right now, Cruz is really the only conservative left with the chance of winning.
Right.
So I just want to draw that distinction.
That's fine. But I guess my point is, how much do you hold him personally responsible for this smear? There's no actual evidence, per se, that he had anything to do with the National Enquirer story. Obviously, Dan Scavino, his social media director, that's a direct link of them pushing a smear.
Yeah, I wish Donald Trump, when he had to address this last Friday, tried to tamp it down and say, I don't want to see these kind of allegations be thrown about. But instead, he said, well, they've had it right before. I don't think he took any action to try to say this is the kind of negativity I don't want to see or be associated with. And that really is the most disheartening thing about this whole episode.
Do you intend to take any legal action against the National Enquirer, against the Trump campaign?
I've talked to, I'm just trying to get through this and protect my reputation, protect my career, protect my family. You know, I'll continue to talk with lawyers fit, but I hope that I can stay focused on the things I was focused on last week. That's all I want.
Let me ask
before this all broke.
Yeah, let me ask you, there are other people in that National Enquirer story, including somebody who works for the Trump campaign.
Yeah.
Do you know of anything, when you worked for him for a number of years, do you know of anything that would call you to question Senator Ted Cruz's marriage or how faithful he's been to his wife, Heidi?
I have no knowledge of any of these allegations that were raised by a supermarket tabloid, and I don't think they had any evidence either. They published just a few photos of women at random. I don't know why those 5 photos were chosen. They don't have any proof. And so this is just a really ugly smear that seems all too common this campaign season.
I have to say also, I've worked for a lot of powerful women in my day. I'm no longer young, but no one's ever come at me for having an affair with one of the powerful women I work for. But I do see this a lot in Washington. You're a woman and you work for somebody, and immediately people start lobbing
I think every woman,
sexist allegations,
that, especially those that work in politics and media, take a risk because these allegations can be slung at them. And the worst thing to do is run away from it and hide. I feel confident standing in the truth of this, but I do worry that it's going to get worse this campaign season. We may be having the first female presidential candidate dominating the news cycle. I want everyone to band together to just have their eyes wide open about this. It's destructive. Now that I've personally experienced it over the past few days, the magnitude of it, it's hard for women, but for the entire political atmosphere.
And there's a certain amount of humanity that seems to be lost in this campaign. You've been very strong coming here and answering questions that I never wanted to have to ask you. Thank you for being here, Amanda, and best of luck to you, and our love to your husband and your two beautiful children that we all here at CNN know you are devoted to.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here.